The hunger for love is much harder to remove than the hunger for bread. As you see, should we really need love to sustain? Should we really need love to live on our own, or should we really need only food, basic needs to rely? And what if our family members isolate us? What if our friends restrict us not to gather with them? What will be our destiny then? Should we be able to rely on our own till the end? So yes, we are going to discuss about the attachment style, Harlow's Rhesus monkey experiment, psychological experiment, which says our attachment, basic human attachment style in this video. Come on, let's get into this video. Background of Harry Harlow's experiment. In 1950, psychologists named Harry Harlow conducted the experiment on rhesus monkeys. They are mostly correlated with the human activity. So he just chose the rhesus monkeys for his experiment, and he conducted two experiments. One of his experiment, he used two surrogate mothers. He just separated the newborn rhesus monkey from his own mother, and he just put the newborn monkey into a room with this two surrogate mothers. And in his second experiment, he just isolated this newborn monkey without putting it with any other mothers or any other monkeys. So it is completely put into isolation. He just observed the condition of the monkey in the first experiment and observed the condition of the monkey in the second condition. And in the end, he noted down the psychological impact of this monkey developing self-harm activity, or else like is it secure in its own, or trouble in socializing. So these are all the findings that he made by this rhesus monkey experiment, which is very notable lesson where human beings can learn from this experiment, where how love is most important than one of the physical need, food. Experiment 1 of two surrogate mothers, clothed mother and wired mother. So before getting into this experiment 1, we need to understand that there is a common saying that when a child is born, it definitely needs that uh, maternal emotional support. Especially the mother should be giving all her care and all her attention to this newborn child more than his father. That is the common saying, right? So, what our society trained us here is that the mother should be there for the child, but father should not be there for the child. That is what the saying is about. Okay, let's get into the topic, and I'll discuss why it is not correct after you can see the experiment one's result. Okay, so basically, the what the psychologist did is he just bought that newborn rhesus child. He just separated that rhesus monkey child, and he put that rhesus into a room with two surrogate mothers. One is a clothed mother, another one is a wired mother. Both surrogate mothers are non-living beings. They are just wrapped with some other objects. There is a clothed mother wrapped with a soft terry towel, and the wired mother is wrapped with the wires. And the cloth mother, it is just there present only for the comfort, providing comfort to the rhesus. And the wired mother is there with a bottle of milk. Obviously, for when the rhesus feels hungry, he can go for that wired mother. So these are the two surrogate mothers that are left in the room with the rhesus. What do you think? Will the rhesus go for the clothed mother or wired mother? That is, will the rhesus spend most of its time with whom? We see that, and what we think is, yes, it will be hungry as it is a newborn. It will only go for the wired mother. No, no, the results are very very different from our opinion. Most of the time, the young rhesus spent its time only with the clothed mother other than the wired mother most of the time. Okay, sometimes for its food, like when it is hungry, it gone for that wired mother, but most of the time it spent its time with the clothed mother for emotional support, connection, and safety, security. uh, why this experiment is very important here is, so, although it is not a motherly figure, as I said before, only the child needs mother more than the father. Here it is not even a monkey, it is not an, it's a non-living being. So the experiment clearly states that we as a human being or any other living being needs a caregiver. The support from the caregiver is more important than our physical need, that is a food. We will spend only small amount of time with the wire, like a wired monkey, that is wired monkey, surrogate monkey, but will be spending most of our time with the caregivers who supports us and nurtures us. This is a great lesson that we can take, that we should be responsible for a child, whether we are a mother or a father, whomever we are. As a child, it is completely depend on us, and if we are the reason for the child's birth or we are the reason for the child's here, we should provide our support completely to that. Even if I'm a mother or a father, doesn't matter. The matter only here is providing the safety and secure environment for the newborn child. That is the most important lesson. The child should have happy memories when you think about its childhood memory, and apart from the good memory, it should feel emotional security. That is what this experiment is telling us. And the impact is, there are two surrogate mothers, right? So the Rhesus, which is spend most of the time with the clothed mother, that is 80 to 90% of the Rhesus which were in this experiment, spend most of its time with the clothed mother. They were seen more confident, relying on oneself when combining with all the peers of monkeys. Okay, but when there are exceptional cases, right? There are 10 to 20% of some Rhesus only spent with the wired mother for a simple amount of food. When that was diagnosed, the psychologist completely saw one sort of timid, the shy personality has been developed in this particular monkey Rhesus, which spend most of the time with a wired wired surrogate mother, where it had that trouble in socializing with its peers, and the active severity of this troubled socializing increased when the Rhesus was put into that surrogate mother's prison for more than 90 days. And when the severity is very less, is for 10 to 20 days, if they spend the time with the surrogate mother, the personality can be reversed, which is again a lesson that if the childhood is good, and if the adult is going to face any sort of negativity in his life, it can be reversed. But the childhood is very very important because it will cause a permanent damage. So one should provide a good responsible amount of good memories to his or her child. That is the greatest impact that this experiment denotes us. Experiment 2, isolation of baby rhesus monkeys. So the rhesus monkey is completely separated from its real mother, and it is not even put with the surrogate mothers. It is completely isolated in in the room full of no one but only itself. And the Harlow studied that the monkey which is isolated, for he studied the isolated monkey for over 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year period. And in the 3 month period, the social distress was very much more. The first 3 months, when it is isolated, the rhesus monkey was very much troubled, faced trouble in socializing. And for the next 6 months, the self harm activities was found in that rhesus monkey. That is, it just selfly harmed itself, mutilated itself, all sort of self distractions happened. And if it continued for more than 1 year, the danger is very severe that it didn't socialize. It considered very sort of harmful activity towards its peer group, and only if it is considered as a hero of the group, it will be there, or else like it will indulge in the distraction of the social group itself. So here you can see that all those things that the baby rhesus monkey has gone through during the isolation period, the severity of the isolation period, when it increased, the severity also increased more. The distraction of self harm is more when the period of isolation is more. So that is the takeaway of this experiment too. So one should be very very important in providing the childhood attachment, because the childhood is very crucial period in creating the bonds and attachments with its caregiver. And if the childhood attachment is not made during that particular time, the reversal is not possible. Because the adult can face any sort of accidents, any sort of drama in his or her life, and he or she can easily move on. Maybe it might take some time as an adult too, but they can move on easily than the one who is a childhood survivor of abuse, or who has been neglected, abused, whatsoever. So it is very important for the guardians. It is very important for the guardians, not just the mother of the child. It is very important for the father of the child too, or the guardian surrounding the child too, to provide the good atmosphere for this child. So lessons and takeaway from these two Hallows experiment. For us as a society, it is not only applicable to the monkeys but also to the humans, right? So the childs are there not only for food, and don't tell your child that I am providing you food, I am providing you safety and security, so you should do what I say you to do. Okay, don't ask his or I mean him or her to do all those things only for your satisfaction, but please provide the attachment what your child expects. You should give that. It is not about you, it is about your child. It is more about comfort and tactile surrounding than about the physical needs. Simply because you are providing food and home for basic need, you are not going to be the survivor. I mean, you are not going to be the god of your child. So you should be very careful. You are just responsible for the child's life merely. And that is the greatest takeaway of this lesson. What do you think about these two experiments that Harlow did will affect us as a human? And how can we implement those techniques in our day-to-day life? Comment on this comment box. And let me see you all in the next video. Until then, stay safe, happy evening. Bye bye.